Abusuafo ene na Daddy Lumba nwiaba Ernestina Fosu ede Abusuapani Kofi Wusu ekogina asemdibia mekere the Accra High Court say omayi nsembi ano na nsembi nso entoye efa Daddy Lumba eye na ono se onyae abusuafo ni bi so onyae na ono nso chinchine atwan obeye no wode ye no kogina Accra High Court na enye ono nko a na okoye Nemum, some of the immediate maternal family members of Daddy Lumba. Consisted of Daddy Lumba ne mame. Me chair Daddy Lumba nana. Ma amesa. Daddy Lumba mame amesa. Sa mame na sefo the immediate maternal family members of Daddy Lumba. Inti Daddy Lumba nwiaba ne wofa say ne cousins, ne nieces, ne aunties, ne uncles, omo your friend say sa ho ni nyina ase. Na emum Abusuapanin enka ne immediate maternal family members no ho. Inti omo omo nipa num 5 ede Abusuapanin akogina court. Na enya Abusuapanin nkwa na obede ne court na emum your friend say Bank headquarters Accra so omonso ka ho the transitional funeral home enso eka ho omonso eka friend say the immediate maternal family members de omakogina court no ade nti na omu nyina eka ho Bank baby a Daddy Lumba na eyie no committee omotefa ho no during 1 week ni nyina no sika no eho na omukokora no na funeral home enso any baby a Daddy Lumba ne dead body eda omo ebo ho ban no nti abusua no emunum ede saa nipa miensen anase ekuo miensen akogina asemdibia ewo Accra High Court say ensem bi wo ho omo nte omo ho ase efa Daddy Lumba ye ho na sermon no letter na ekutamen. This is a copy of it na ekutamen no. This is one of the most interesting cases amiankasa mago to na me ade nwanwasem ba ko a ewo mu enso ene say omo pese saa bere ya ye kase court ed injunction eto enioma bebre so omasem nyina no omo se court emfa injunction ento enioma bebre so no mo stop ye ni bibia ewo ho na ade ba ko a o se me ma o ya we say the immediate family no enkrofo bi ekeka say anasa omo susu say Odobronyi anase mami akusua sewa eka ho mami akusua sewa eni odobronyi omo ho eni court case ya currently ekosum omo ho enim eni say they are not part of the plaintiff or part of the defendant michira omo ne omasem ne kodan court se court enka asem ne ma omo no mami odobronyi ne mami akusua sewa omo mienu obi eni ho a oka ho say bonus bo ana wode na asem akodan court inti yenhwe ehonom na ye enhye so na nipa enum omoka the immediate maternal your friend is a family members no no any but obi betimi ebusa say immediate maternal family members na dey Abusuapanin nkan wana dey bi Abusuapanin nkan wa mu kiremu a the immediate family maternal members no wo mo a Daddy Lumba nana wo Daddy Lumba mame amesa sa line nyina eba omo any the maternal family members of Daddy Lumba the immediate maternal family members of Daddy Lumba na say me kan ni munum na asiu sa nkrofukuo miensen na de odi kan oba panyini afia adoma ewo paakoso ono nso Daddy Lumba epusuani kan immediate maternal family no na opanyini Robert Jemfi aka Ofayapuku here na yinim no say free set case by from court ene ahimfie nyina wodimu ntintiban a untimi nso enyinim free mo no nso ewo Asofia na Georgina Jemfi nso ewo Esre so ono nso ka ho maame Georgina asem na ye ken na Ernestina Fosu maame Ernestina Fosu enso ho asem na ye ken na nana efia kobi ono nso ka ho tinipa numwe na asiu opanyini Kofi menu opanyini Kofi Wusu sorry ene Bank headquarters Accra ene the transitional funeral home but before say you the statement of claims in this one ade ba ko a me pese edi kan ehye say enuoma a mo de akodan court say saa enuoma we ni enuoma we nti ena omo pese court e de me friend say enuoma omo pese court ne eye ma wo mo no ena omo akoso e de aba say afi no abe join ya me say odo adwen kire nso ebeto comment section ho na wa me ye hu de wa adwen nso eye wo ho obetimi like ha enye de atem eye se ne wa adwen kirew ana se de o feel efa case ni ho ena obetimi nso e de abra comment section ho na omo say me can kind from paragraph 34 the reason why I'm a person me fefi ho ne say eho ebe boa ya ma yate enuoma ni bebre ase ansana ya be ni mu na hwa o say 1a declaration that the planning, preparation, organization, conduct, performance, etc., and every decision that is incidental to the performance of final funeral rites of the late Charles Kwajofosu, aka Daddy Lumba, by Akan custom and tradition, is solely an exclusive preserve of the immediate maternal family of the deceased. Omuchra Akan fama meremuno. Akan fama meremuno. Eye abusua the immediate maternal family members ena omoye the preparation, the planning, the organization bibia efa obi efrima saa bibia eye na ni bibia bekoso bia no eye immediate maternal family members no ena eye e wa kan fa mamrem to we eye kwadu a edikan a omode akọ anase omade srede omode akogina court anase mdibia say lawyer anase judge enhwena emra no enka bi ma wo mo if say saa asem wi no abusuapanyin anase omo ka abusuapanyin ho no eno omo enni ni ye bi no o say a declaration that Mr. Robert Jemfi aka Yaopoku is the head of the immediate maternal family of the late Charles Kwajofosu aka Daddy Lumba and not the first defendant. Okay, so omuchirema offer Yaopoku no eka the immediate maternal family no offer Yaopoku na oka ho no ono ena ye abusuapanyini ewo the maternal side. Yense no nso, let me make this clear before we move on. Offer Yaopoku ene abusuapanyini to pack aye nyina yenim no Kofi Wusu no ensonso ye omu nyina ye abusuapanyini na nsonso ye de omu mu ne se abusuapanyini eye friend say abusuapanyini ekona yes or ye ekona royal family ana ekona family na omo ewo paakoso eni nsuta no ono ena eye omo family head ono ye abusuapanyini. But when it comes to the immediate maternal side of Daddy Lumba there, omo eyi of Yaopoku se ono ena ye panyini anase abusuapanyini a wo gina mu ema omo nti omo de adesrede ma court no kan kire court no se Mr. Robert Jemfi anase of Apoku no ono ena ye the head for the immediate maternal family of Daddy Lumba. Nti ono ena I was say we are responsible for a year no nioma bibia. Nemum enye first defendant. When they say the first defendant, they are referring to Abusuapani Kofi Wusu, which is Abusuapani to pack ayi nyina yenim no. Nti omo sre court no say ono na ye omo panyini. Nti omo enya bi Abusuapani nya bi ama no na onhwe so ana say ontu hu anamo. And the see no so say a declaration that the first defendant is the head of the wider Ekona family and not the immediate maternal family of the late Charles Kwajofosu aka Daddy Lumba. Said them kind. Almost say the first defendant are Abusuapani to pack and I say Mr. Kofi Wusu no or no the family head or Abusuapani for Ekona family, not the immediate maternal family side of Daddy Lumba. Inti eno so had decided omode to court and him say court na enhye na onhwe ho asem nso enka e that side ho emma wo no mfa nto nsosonye ento omuntem. Di no say a declaration that the first defendant, which is Abusuapani Kofi Wusu, Abusuapani to pack, is not a member of the immediate maternal family of Charles Kwajofosu, Kwajofosu, sorry, aka Daddy Lumba, and can therefore not participate in the planning, preparation, organization, conduct, performance, and every decision that is incidental to the final funeral rites of the late Charles Kwajofosu, aka Daddy Lumba. And to about say Daddy Lumba, Abusuapani are also responsible. Your friend is say of fire, Nimum, and yet Abusuapani to pack into the first defendant, almost say on count, almost say, almost your court and say, court on count, into new crime class say, or can't like post up new ones for Taribi. I say, oh, hey, okay, the E say a declaration that the Lumba Memorial Foundation account with the second defendant is the property of the immediate maternal family of the late Charles Kwajofosu. Say the second defendant in this case is referring to the Cowbank Ghana headquarters in Accra. Say that account will be my Daddy Lumba or Cowbank in Charles Daddy Lumba Memorial Foundation account needing no. And almost say almost can't record no almost record and say sa account na ababedi Cowbank of one hall. Court no emfa emra ento so say the immediate maternal family members of Daddy Lumba me kire say nipa 5 for ne omo aka omo ka ho omo ena the solely owner of account, although account na nyomo ne biye but omo de adesere de can't court and say sika na ewo mu ni nyina no sika belonging to Daddy Lumba, and this money were collected based on the funeral arrangement of Daddy Lumba. Inti was say government and I say emrano sa account no the immediate family members of Daddy Lumba, the maternal side precisely. So your friend is say F no or say an order of the court restraining the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, and any other member of the old committee from accessing the account with the account name Daddy Lumba Memorial Foundation at Cowbank Ghana. You know, your friend is a F no can say or say account no sikana a woman no any BFA account no biano court no emfa omunsa ento so say Abusuapani, which is the first defendant, Emma order and I say any old member of committee na old member of committee no say net committee no mo di kan etibi ansa na mo ba be Daddy Lumba 1 week no. Yes, committee no muti, but according to Abusuapani no mo kire say committee no nipa ewum no they are not okay with nipa na ewum no. Into community no kura na ide egu omo pese omo tefufuro so matefufuro nti say Abusuapani ma order say any member within that old committee no say omo ba bang ho aba be yiska na bibisa court no fa omo nsa ento so say de be ya omo betimi a prevent sa enumani wia enumani nyina sorry G indicate an order directed by the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, to account, surrender, submit, refund, etc. any item or funds withdrawn from Daddy Lumba's foundation account after the dissolution of the committee previously formed by the first defendant. How much did I say? Daddy Lumba Abusuapani, Abusuapani Kufiwusu, Abusuapani to pack. Ever since omu dissolve that first committee na omu say sika bia every account ni omu say on surrender 1 onje account ni 2 on submit on famra bibi bia wafa e wa account ni whether eye sika anase eye any item onye dey on fa embra said e be ya ebetimi ababedi abusuafo ne nsa nti abusuafo no sika bia free account ni ever since you year 1 week in year sika bi free account nim ne de Abusuapani emme account emma owomo or court in Abusuapani be accountable for that sika ni nyina ena h no say an order to restrain the second defendant, which is the Cow Bank of Ghana, from honoring any check presented to it by the first defendant or under his authority and the other members of the dissolved committee in respect to the account number, which is Daddy Lumba's funeral account. Almost say also court no, and as almost court no court natural say a Cow Bank na ono no yes second defendant na abusuafo no ede na kugina asem dibia eni kwan se bange no etimi ma order emma anase bange ne pene so say check bia abusuapanyin na sign dia ma any old member bia na se obia o de beba bange obia no e wo say bange for no epamu nipa na reject eya disedi abusuafo no the immediate maternal family no ede ka ho akoko se enye physical cash kwa ho de ba o se bank no reject bank na reject dia na che se bank no nso no di abusuapanyin no ye no nti bank no nso ho ebe chere no ena I no o say an order directed by the second defendant to remove the signatory to DL Foundation account and substitute same with the signatures of the newly formed committee members who may be appointed by the head of the immediate family members of Charles Kojo Fusu. Almost says Srepa court natural say court no en country court no en order bank no, which is Cow Bank of Ghana headquarters Accra. Bank no court ntimi order bank no sene ebe ya signatories na eye abusuapanyin no omo na omo ka first committee no ho no ebe yi sa signatories ni nyina free ho na ye the signatories of the newly formed or about to formed committee no yemfa omo replace those dignitaries signatories a omo be ye free account and so that by omo ebetimi arane day-to-day activities of that account. Okay. And J no or say an order directed at the second defendant, the third defendant, not to release the body of Charles Kojo Fusu to any person without the knowledge, consent and approval of the plaintiff. Almost say we see a transitional funeral home for and almost edieni omo ka kire omo pa court na kire say transition funeral homes baby that the Lumba body ni one court no enfa ne nsanto so say obi bia ni ho a owo ho kwan say otimi efa that the Lumba emu ni free ho abra say nipa num ya omo ye friend say nipa num ya omo de asem ne court no enim ho hwe and I say omo consent and omo approval enim court na omo share court na say court no emfa ne nsa anye dey ento body no so ewo transitional funeral home ho enti the statement of claim omo de kodan court and omo de adan court no ene say the edikan ye kan statement of claim na che say de omo pese omo kire court na say and omo pese omo sere court na say the edikan or say the plaintiffs which are 5 people now omode omasem akodan court omama that 5 people of them say belong to the immediate maternal family members. Yes, the plaintiff are the immediate maternal principal family members of the late Charles Kojo Fusu, who belongs to the wider Ekwana royal family of Pakoso and Nsuta. Omo ma court na atiase na omo chirim and omo sere court ne say that plaintiff nipa enum 5 year omo do omasem ababedan court no omo nye nipa hunu bia na emum they belong to the immediate maternal principal family members of Charles Kojo Fusu that Lumba. What you say? But omo ma court na ya we say omo nyina belongi to the wider Ekwana royal family of Pakoso and then Insuta. Nemu momo ipanum omo ena e belonging to the immediate maternal principal family members. What I say? And almost over chest say hono Abusuapani on kahon. Okay, let's go to the second one. The second plaintiff is the head of the immediate family of the late Charles Kwajufosu. The second plaintiff no, and so ene offer yapoku omo chere court and say offer yapoku ene the family head or na Abusuapani that the immediate maternal family no ano one Abusuapani na emum enye Abusuapani to pack asam omo person omo catch court no. Third, the first defendant is the head of the wider Accra royal family of Insuta. Omo pese omo catch court ne say Abusuapani ni din na abamu na omo ese mo ne say omma court no ono woye the family head of Accra Abusuapani Accra royal family ni nyina sa Accra family no I am wo Pakoso ni Insuta no ono ena ye head ni mum enye the immediate maternal family of Daddy Lumba. And our fourth the fourth claim no, and so and say also the second defendant is a bank which has Daddy Lumba's foundation account. The second defendant, which is Cow Bank, Accra headquarters no, or more chair court and say, sir plaintiff me chair immediate family members no chair court and say, second defendant na ya same morning no, or no, onye busuani, or no, where you hold that keke, ukuta, a what ena bank na ya bank, a hona says Sikaya JJ for Daddy Lumba in 1 week. Any sika nkrofo contribute say yemfa enye Daddy Lumba yi ene ade ni nyina say sika ni nyina eho ene wonti moma court nso aye aware eho the etoso 5 no or say the third defendant is the mortuary into which the body of the late Charles Kwajufosu aka Daddy Lumba is deposited. Third defendant no almost ama court no aye aware say eho mortuary yede Daddy Lumba a body ayede akwakoto nti first 4 claims no claim 1 omo dey identify omo ho say sa nipa num ya omo wo animu sa nipa num omo ene the immediate maternal principal family members of Daddy Lumba ene dey to sumienu omo dey kire Daddy Lumba omo dey kire court ne say Daddy Lumba in as much as or belonging to Accra, the wider Accra family, royal family of Insuta ne Pakoso. And Abusuapani, Abusuapani to Paken. Omo esawo Abusuapani na ono ena eda the immediate family members na no. Nti wono ena omo ka no ho asem. Ena omo de third no so sa chiu mo sa chiu mo say a second defendant ni na be shemu ni emfa ni me shemu keke e bank e ho na sika sem na ye dey e one na third and so the friend is the funeral home a chair transitional funeral home nti omo di kan me no aye clear e dey ama court no e na omo esa e to aso omo say the plaintiff averts that their immediate maternal family consists of Obapanyini Nana Ama Benhene, who gave birth to Obapanyini Amasa, who also gave birth to Ernestina Fosu, Charles Kwajufosu, aka Daddy Lumba. Almost say chire matchro court and say ka immediate maternal family. Ye pese ye chire say free Daddy Lumba Nana ba a friend Obapanyini Nana Ama Benhin. Daddy Lumba Nana ba. If Obapanyini Nana Ama Benhin. Ono no wo amisa aye Daddy Lumba mami amisa. Ono asa amisa anso na wo friend Ernestina Fosu. Ono no ka plaintiff ni hu bi no. Esa wo Daddy Lumba. Ye ka the immediate maternal family esa line no ho asem na ye ka. to mu chirichirim a court. Okay, so the seventh one, or say the plaintiff averred that Pakoso Hene Nana Boache Amponsa Okofro Bine is chief mourner. Omo court and say Nana Pakoso Hene Okofro Bine or no, and a omu chief mourner, a yebo mufi or no, any omu chief mourner. Okay, yanto aso. It was said the plaintiff averred that as at the time this one, sad document this document was prepared, I think, on the 3rd of December. Yes, at that time, okay, at the time this document was prepared, the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, had failed or refused to officially inform their chief mourner per the Accra custom and tradition of the passing of the late Charles Kwadwo Fusu. Almost say as at 3rd December, omo court amane say omo nsem bi omo ntia asem ti omo ni beto court anim no. Sa time no na obia na say Abusuapani na obeye yi no. Na omo chief mourner amane as custom and tradition demands no na onye ni sa asat that time. So nine or say the plaintiff averred that the late Charles Kwadwo Fusu aka the Lumba during his lifetime was a prominent figure of the immediate maternal family. Hey, maternal family for many a day. Wow. Okay, so the 10th was say the plaintiff averred that the late Charles Kwadwo Fusu aka the Lumba died on the 6th day of July 2025. Omasa chere eda bra Charles Kwadwo Fusu ekọ nkrechi no omo ebo court na mane. The reason why obi beka say e bia ensem no ayet say ensem obi anim de ade be court de ye de emra evidence ena ejuma nti before say court no na beka cha court no say court no ono amfa na adwene embu ana say onko wachim ko hwehwem da bi o presentation na wo ye no say eno NM court no e base one eno no so what you say I say signs and symptoms no before say ana say nipa ni hu signs korea na symptoms also na wo ye dey wo ka kire no what you say nti sana aye ewo court ha nti o say omobo court na mane time that the Lumba ekọ ni nkrechi ene ni nyina de keka hu nyina. So on the 11th claim no say the plaintiff averred that after the death the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, constituted a committee to organize the final funeral rites of the deceased. Almost that the Lumba ekọ ni nkrechi no Abusuapani Kofi Wusu Abusuapani to pack ono ena what say first committee one person want to say committee no the cover by ni nyina Abusuapani they want that thing to be known to the court. And the 12th point and also and as a 12th claim mother's ready to so dum you know amode to court nani and said the first defendant did not inform the plaintiffs who are the immediate family members. They are talking about the siblings, the mother, the nieces, the nephews, etc. of that Lumba. What I say? Almost say a bra nipa no wuye no. A bra that Lumba e free mono. First defendant, which is Abusuapani, wa amo mama nie. Abusuapani amo o mama nie, o mama Abusuapani amo that Lumba mama no mama nie, ni nieces, ni nephew, ni siblings, ni nyanom that Lumba. That the Abusuapani amo that Lumba. Abusuafo na omo ye the immediate family members no. Ya mo mama nie, some omo ka kire court. Eno no. Enyo na abeka say obo mama nie na nyi ho. You and I were not there. We court asem ba mra there. You and I were not there. 13 no. Or say the plaintiff averred that they reported the matter to the Menchia Palace, whereupon the first defendant was ordered to desist from attempting to organize the funeral or taking decisions that will affect the preparation or organization of the funeral without the plaintiff. Inti aha a point back one a very important. Opposite what say a bra moko bo menshia a bra a friend saying omoko bo menshia omoko bo achiame ha mane wo menshia no e fa da Lumba yi no achiame kan say eni kwan say oye bibi ana organize eyi no hu nwema eyi abusuafo ni firim ana say say nipa enum ya omode asam na court no eni kwan say Abusuapanin eye den eyi omo firim o say decision bia obetiki bia no ode omoka ho nenso Abusuapanin say ba ne sa say ama ne sa ni nyina ejina court no enso 14 for say after or say the plaintiff averred that the 1 week observation of Charles Kwajofosu aka Daddy Lumba was celebrated on the 3rd of August 2025 at the Independence Square. Omo chere say omo ma court na ya we say on the 30th of August and Daddy Lumba ne na watche da ediye ewo Independence Square omo ma no so akọ nkratemu akire ajeje ne a lawyer for omo etna asemi. So the plaintiff averred that following the development at paragraph 8, friends, family members, loved ones, well wishers, among others, who came to sympathize with the family donated money towards the funeral commemoration. Omo pese omo chere say a bra no mudi 1 week no anaso mudi 1 week ni wie no adom a jamfo enamfofo adofo edisika kakra abase yenje na yemfa enye Daddy Lumba eyi no omo ma court na ya awe se sikabi aba hosa sikabi nso aba betomusa what I say adofo di sika yede aba. And the claim 16 or say the plaintiff averred that after the 1 week observation an account was opened at Cal Bank. That's the second defendant with the account name Daddy Lumba Memorial Foundation. And so omo court na aya we say yedi na watwe dani wie no sika kakra ba say do ma kanadofo ejamfo ene fans edi sika ba say yenje obo bo mo nsa ne krakra no mbo bo mo nsa say sika no obo ko bie account ewo Cal Bank headquarters ewa Accra nti ho na sika no nso ewo mo ma court no aya aware sa. And the 17th claim nso and it say omo the account number no e be to court nanim say account number no ewo ho ene de minini say minum you no be hia de IDB say bibia na ho bibia na ho. The 18th claim no and it say the plaintiff averred that the said account therefore is an account of the immediate family members. Omo chere say sika na nkrofo de baaye no e was say ebusua the immediate family members na o say omo responsible for a year no so omo responsible for a year ne dia that is a account na sika ne gum ne dia the immediate family members dia. So interesting sa no mo person omo chere what you say. And the plaintiff averred that that's point 19 the claim 19 the plaintiff averred that a committee was initially formed for the 1 week celebration which has since been dissolved. Omote committee for 1 week no omote committee but ye no yagu committee no mo ma court no so I aware e was committee no ho. And point 20 no na claim 20 no say a new committee has been formed which is headed by the second plaintiff abusuafo nso omo nso ate committee for immediate family members no ate committee for as our committee no second plaintiff of fire opoku ono ene da no nti omo ma abusuafo no court no aya aware sa said e be ya bibia ni a omo betimi nso de ahye omo nsem because you see omo ka say account a Abusuapani ekobie ne first committee ote ekobie e work bank no omo emphasize account no enhye the immediate family members no ensa na sa immediate family members no nso no of fire opoku ono ena eda oma no sa no mo pese omo kire wa ha na claim 21 no omo say the committee has been formed to supervise and oversee the preparation and organization of the final funeral rites of the late Charles Kwajofusu aka Daddy Lumba. And see, omo can check court and say the reason why omo say this second committee and say omo the ebe preparation and organization of the late Charles Kwajofusu. And unti ena omo te omo ma court and so aya we say bibia nti no omo te, but this is the sole and particular reason nti omo te say eku no. And claim 23 no say on the 11th day of November 2025 presented a check of 30,000 Ghana cedis and withdrew same without recourse to the plaintiff. That the first defendant say the first defendant Abusuapani no on the 11th day of November last month Abusuapani ebe yisika ana ko yisika 30,000 Ghana cedis check every sa account in my either the Lumba Foundation Memorial Foundation account na o ma wa bie ne car bank no o ma court na ya we say Abusuapani ede ne nsa abom 30,000 Ghana cedis nti court no so enhwem na omunhunu de ode here na so de beba na ode aba. The plaintiff averred that the first defendant Abusuapani has gone further to withdraw 60,000 Ghana cedis for reason known to him and alone and without knowledge, consent and approval of the plaintiff. Obuchema Abusuapani aside and insa abosiken masai 60,000 Ghana cedis. Efrim ene de omun nim de or this can na omunim time so yi skani we yi sika 30,000. First one and second one I just say Abusuapani 90,000 Ghana cedis. If we did the Lumba sikeni sikana nkasa meaning but yen na that our intel suggested that the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, on the 19th day of November 2025 has initiated process to further withdraw a whopping 200,000 Ghana cedis of the money with the second defendant meant for the preparation and organization of the funeral in for reasons best known to him and without recourse to the plaintiff, and true to the intel he has indeed withdrawn same on 21st day of November. Wow. Yes, Abusuapani ene cow bang for because omo scan da omo akambum sika 200,000 say omo de akọ ye preparation towards a year no 200,000. Yes, Abusuapani into omo do musu say Abusuapani senka second defendant which is car bank aman ho kwan yanka Abusuapani intimi eni sika no. The 26th claim now say the plaintiff averred that the first defendant has arrogated unto himself as the sole decision maker in respect to the final funeral rites of the late Charles Kwajofusu without recourse to the plaintiff. One person catch court and say first defendant Abusuapani say ono enko asem ena odi beye yi ono nko decision ena odi beye yi na bra do ye bie ni ho a obo the immediate family members no obo emu ba kumpo amane ye se opese wo yesi ana se opese wo yesi nti amamre kwan so nya saa na ye no omo na ye the immediate family members saa na omo pese omo eka kire court no. In the 27th claim no say or said the plaintiff maintained that every decision, planning and step the first defendant take in respect to the funeral of their beloved Charles Kwajufosu, aka Daddy Lumba, is calculated to meet his selfish interest and not the good of the family. It's almost so much I say. I did Abusuapani to park a yen and say, Oyamano. I'm not going to see can or the abuno. I didn't say Abuma or the Koye, you know, a for any interest. So could ye, so they could ye and Munyam, so they quiet day, almost say, I dear Pia Abusuapani, ye, or Daddy Lumba, a yen, or ye, for your own interest, or ye, said the Abaya Obinya eso emphaso. The claim 28 no say the plaintiff averred that the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, has an intention clearly not to include the plaintiff, who are the immediate family members of the late Charles Kwajufosu, in the planning, organization, preparation, etc. of the funeral of the late Charles Kwajufosu, aka Daddy Lumba. Almost Abusuapani abonitirimu pose enya ade a or did the immediate family members ebeka eye no eye nhihye ye bia no ho do meka ho omo nche aduane omo nche nsu omo important o se bibia ni ho a Abusuapani pese ode omo eka ho ntintuma kura me nyinni se ebi mpo a obamu omu bi mpo etwa ai omo nu mu asem no enye me na me ka omo se bibia ni ho a Abusuapani abo mu titiri mu pose obeyi omo free eye na wo ye ni omo claim I also 29 or say the plaintiff averred that all attempt to stop the first defendant from depleting the limited amount and the account has failed. Omo so omo chere say the obetimi a ombe bia say Abusuapani emfa ne nsam bo sikanim emfa nya de ope ana emfa nya yi no ana endi ni dom betimi ayi bia o maye but still ankusiaga. Claim 30 say the plaintiff averred that unless the court makes an order, the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, will continue to squander all the money in the said account, which is meant for the observation of the funeral rites of Daddy Lumba. And almost a court, yes, sir. Won't na ubetimi ayade because ya try won't na ubetimi de wonsa ato sika no so say Abusuapani ema Abusuapani enyi sika no because Abusuapani sense kan into court is said mo fa mo san to sika no say be ya de akakakra na aka no inka ye say it's meant for the preparation and organization of Mr. Charles Kwajufosu no man fa mo san to so Abusuapani obedi sika ni nyina femfram into court yesero ye bibi fa ho de immediate family members no ka kire court enso no 31 or say the plaintiff states that circumstances surrounding the death of the late Charles Kwajufosu is the subject matter of an ongoing investigation by the Criminal Investigation Division of Accra. Criminal Investigation Division of the Ghana Police Service and other investigative body following a petition lodged by the immediate family members of the deceased. Omo say Charles Daddy Lumba omo asam no so akodan Ghana Police for investigation division omo asam akodan because omo nim say something small fishy about the death of the late Daddy Lumba, so they want them to investigate. Omo ma court na ya aware say omo do masna be dan court na name omo for omo chinyehwe ade a omo tu ho anamo ndada ena omo e ka kire court no. Okay, so the 32nd complaint and as a claimer or more a catcher court and say the plaintiff states further that despite the ongoing police investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of the late Charles Kojofusu, the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, has decided to hold the funeral of the deceased and bury his mortal remains on the 13th of December 2025 and has erected billboards announcing his intentions to the general public. Omo catch court and say, and someone a father the Lumba way I say and Tiasia, the Aquadan Ghana police for say, or Munyan Fishimuno, Ninachi, Abusuapani, the Wayana gonna say, obey yin, and your money a court a cassay. And also more tressa in Saman Krata, every quarter they are come Abusuapani, let us see billboard will crew. Or see billboard will crew man intention. If I known to the public say a year no obey on the 13th of December so or to more country courts. The also 33 no or say you drew yes 33. So the plaintiff says that if the first defendant, which is Abusuapani, proceeds with the burial of the mortal remains of the late Charles Kojofusu as announced by him, such burial will hamper ongoing police investigation into the circumstance surrounding his death, which is necessary requires that the corpse is not interfered with or buried. So more can't you call to say Sabria yedi asami down police for more investigations about what really killed or the misunderstanding around the death of Daddy Lumba. Se mumma Abusuapani no kwan se onsie amuna ebe otana ebe hinder the investigation, because maybe we may need an autopsy to finalize our findings. We may need an evidence on Daddy Lumba's body. It wouldn't be advisable to almost share court and say court and share na onka ho asem say body no bian faninsa enka. Okay. Enti we any ensem ahodo a omode akodan court no me try the immediate maternal family members no e dey akodan court and say court no hye almost share court na hye na omoa wo mo said e be ya omo betimi ama bibia akoso kama na omo de share Charles Kojofusu Daddy Lumba no omo timi asie ni siepa enti omo share adesrede we de nyenhye adesrede amode akodom your friend is say court ana aban say omo sa kwan so say de me no ka say asante hene na osei tutu a otosumionu na ebodi an mabomi mu ase ono nso ene menhia chiame eyi omonsa afri eyi no so se omunya ho asam nka nti sese ne de bebi ani daso ni nyina kwa akogina no the judicial system of Ghana, the law, the court, the high courts, Accra High Court and ensem nyina akwa akogina. Abusua aha Munhwe TV since the one at the Lumba call encourage here kana call friend is saying or twana nanomo ewense do na ha the bibia bremo from court cases nyina he make sure say your mama the rightful source and information send ebe ya umutimi ehu dia ekoso yentie na yaka ya itutu ya namon court grounds hwese de yeti ana de yehu no eyampa nti ya na yekọ na the information ebremo nti se won subscribe ya make sure say obe subscribe to this platform like na ehye na fa wadwenkyere so ebra comment section aso ba comment section aso am sure ho eya adwenkyere enye didi atem sa wadwene enu obi adwene enye pa eno nkyere se ye ya atamfo se de bia meka sa afa ne afa enka nkyere se afa emefa nkonyankopon ya adomo a ochina ye de dadi Lumba funeral grounds no se ebe koso se enkoso se eyi na ebe koso se enkoso ni nyina ye de bebra mo live coverage ewa ha se de da ne mo ye no yebehia biem ewo dadi Lumba yi na se anase aheya makram